Hey, how you doing? Shalom. Welcome back. Thank you again. And I want to talk about today the commandment that says remember the Sabbath. I'm gonna read this to you, but you can find this in Exodus 28 through 11 and Deuteronomy 5 verses 12 through 15. But I'm gonna read it out of read the Exodus right here. Just to give you a recap on it, because it says remember. That's the only commandment where it says remember. Keep in your memory. Here it is. It says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day, which is, Saturday, is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Elohim, in that thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor the manservant or the maidservant, nor the cattle, nor the stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So he hallowed it. That's just from Genesis. He made the world in 6 days and put animals, plants, man, everything on the earth. There's a controversy going on in the Sabbath churches, the Christian Sabbath churches, about how do you say this, about they go to Sabbath services, they get off, they go to a restaurant and have a dinner, a lunch, they have a lunch. Now, is that right? Especially when they tip the waiter or waitresses or whatever. A lot of them are sitting there saying, well, they ain't our servants, they don't work for us, but you're giving them money, so they are serving you. Servants, they are serving you. They're getting paid by somebody, by their employer, but they're doing you a service, and you're actually giving them a tip. You're giving them their money, part of their wages, and then these try to come up and say, well, they're not within my gates, they're not in my household or anything like that. But Scripture here says it plain as day. And it's good to go out, with some brethren of the assembly, and talk and fellowship, socialize. It's good, but this is Yahweh's day. The Sabbath day is Yahweh's. It's not our day. It's His day, and it's you know just excuses after excuses. But anyways, of course, Genesis chapter 2:3, talks about Yahweh rested on the seventh day, and right here, in Exodus 16:23, it's commanded that you do no cooking on the Sabbath day. Exodus 35 verse 3 says you cannot kindle a fire. Now, Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31, it forbids buying and selling or doing any business on the Sabbath. So I'm gonna jump to Isaiah real quick. I'm gonna jump to Isaiah and read what he has to say, and that's 58 chapter 58, 13 and 14. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on the holy day, and call a Sabbath a delight, and the holy of Yahweh honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. So you're supposed to give all honors and dedications to Yahweh, but also it's also a rest for us. It's sort of like what we call a holiday, a weekly holiday. To get rest, but also study Scripture, honor our Creator, our Maker. And in today's world, it's hard to do because employers first they like to work people to death on, especially on the weekends. And we live in a world where it's Sunday, the first day of the week is church day, which is not it's unscriptured. It's not endorsed by Yahweh at all, or Yeshua. Some claim it is, but it's not so, or else they would have said it in plain as day. They would have said it and not minced words, because, Yahweh is not the author of confusion. So that's said and done. I'm going to go to the New Testament, because, people say, well, this is the Old Testament. This is done away with, blah, blah, blah. Now we'll go to the New Testament now. I'm going to go to Matthew. Find Matthew. What am I going to start with? Chapter 12. Sounds good to me. Chapter 12, verse 8. Verse 8 says right here, and this is Yeshua's saying this, for the Son of Man is master even of the Sabbath. He is master of the Sabbath. So we go, I'm going to jump to Matthew 24, go clear to 24. Matthew 24, and what is it going to be, verse 20? 24, verse 20. And this is part of all of that prophecy, But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So he's emphasizing, Sabbath day is very important, because, back then, a lot of dedicated Jews, would not think about, working or doing their thing on the Sabbath, because it does take work, and, they have the little phrase, Sabbath day's journey and stuff like that, and now I'm going to go to Mark, see what Mark has to say. I'm going to go to Mark, where you at? Chapter 1. Mark chapter 1 and what? 21. Chapter 1, verse 21. And he went unto Capernaum, and straightway on the Sabbath he entered in the synagogue and taught. He taught in a synagogue. Yeshua taught on the Sabbath, not on the first day of the week, not on the third day of the week. He did it on the seventh day. He did it on the seventh day. Now I'm going to go to chapter 2 of Mark 27. Let's find it right here. 27 and chapter 2, 27 through 28. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is master also of the Sabbath. Here we go again with the master of the Sabbath. And yes, the Sabbath was made for us. We weren't made for the Sabbath. He was basically, stressing the point here that, the Pharisees and them guys were thinking, twisting laws around, the law of Yahweh around, and, putting real emphasis on, that we were created for the Sabbath. That was sort of an idea, but, it wasn't so. See, I'm going to jump over to Luke right now. Luke chapter 4. If you have a Bible, please follow along with me, and I thank you if you are following along with me. Chapter 4, 16, verse 16, I'm going to go right there. Chapter 4, 16, where you at? And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. He was, it was his custom. It's something he did. It was a habit. It was like he didn't have to think about it. It's basically like to us. We blink. It's just like it was a Sabbath. It was something he did. And we'll go to chapter 23 of Luke. See what this has to say here. Chapter 23. And what is it going to be? 56, verse 56. 56. Where are you at? And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. To the commandment. They followed the commandment and rested on the Sabbath. That's what, they knew the Sabbath. That's what they did. And that was when they was going preparing spices for the body of Yeshua, who was in the tomb. They had to hurry up and do this and that, but they knew the Sabbath was coming, so they had to postpone stuff and observe the Sabbath. That's what they did. Now I'm going to go to the book of Acts. Book of Acts here. Well, which one I'm going to do? 13, verse 14. 13, verses 14 and 13. When they departed from Perga, they came unto Antioch and Pisidia, and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down. So that was, Paul and them, even Paul. Paul was a Sabbath keeper himself. He wasn't a Sunday keeper. He was a Sabbath keeper. And it says in scriptures, there's plenty of scriptures to prove that. And I'm going to go to Acts 15:21. 15:21 here. For Moses of old time hath in every city them preach him, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath day. So here we go again. It was this was the council of Jerusalem with the apostles when he's talking about circumcision and everything, and they was talking about Moses and what he was doing, talking about the importance of the Sabbath, of course, things like that. Now I'm going to jump over to 16, chapter 16 and 13, chapter 16. Where you at? Acts chapter 16, 13. And on the Sabbath we went out of the city by a riverside where prayer was wont to be made, and we sat down and spoke unto the women which resorted there. So on the Sabbath again, brings up the Sabbath. That was Paul's second missionary journey. That's what he said, plain as day. Now I'm going to jump clear over to 17, verse 2. And listen to this one. And Paul, as his manner or custom was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of scriptures. So on the Sabbath day, not just one, not just 2, he went 3 Sabbath days, 3 Saturdays, as we would call it. And he reasoned with them, and he studied scriptures, he preached to them. That's what he did. Now I'll go to chapter 18 of Acts, and that's going to be, first I'm going to do verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. He persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. Now, I'll go over to 11. And he continued there a year and 6 months, teaching the word of Elohim among them. That's what Paul did. That was just how he was. It was his custom and everything else. Now I could go see if I go to Colossians. Find Colossians real quick. Oops, almost there. It'll take a second, excuse me. But yeah, it's got it's just got so much to say about the 7th-day Sabbath, and it doesn't really say. It says it once or twice about the first day, but not in a religious way. It don't say it in a religious way, like honor it and everything else. If you find if you look up the first day of the week, in a Bible reference or something, but the Sabbath's got countless times. I'm just giving a little speck of this stuff. Now I'm going to see Colossians. Was it chapter 2? Was that 16? Chapter 2, 16, where you at? Let no man therefore judge you in meat, nor in drink, or in respect to an holy day, or of a new moon, or of the Sabbath days. So, people are going to come up and judge you because you might not be doing the status quo thing. Status quo, meaning why aren't you observing Sunday? Or, you got the people don't believe, but have a little mentality that Christians go on Sunday. What are you doing? And other people, think that's too Jewish. They think it's only for the Jewish people. But it wasn't just for the Jewish people. It was for the 12 tribes, but it was actually for mankind in general. That was the beginning. The Jews, like Adam and Eve, Abraham, they weren't not Jews. Jews didn't exist until, the son of Jacob, Judah, was born. He was the first Jew. A lot of people don't understand that or anything. Even scholars twist that stuff around. I don't know why, but they somehow twist the stuff around. Let's see, I can go to Hebrews now. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 4. Let's see what this says. For he spoke in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and Elohim did rest the seventh day from all his works. Yep, so, it's not surprising, that he's just, this is what he's saying now. Let's see, I can jump to number 8, verse 8 through 10. For if Joshua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest for the people of Elohim. For he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works as Elohim did from his works. So, and yeah, Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, it's a beautiful book. It's got great stuff in it, just like the whole Bible in general, no denying that. But, anyways, in Isaiah 66:23, he talks about, prophesies about the millennial kingdom Sabbath, the millennial time, with the return of Yeshua and everything. There's going to be a Sabbath, the right Sabbath. No questions, no bickering, no excuses or nothing. Now, I'm going to end this with Ezekiel. I'm going to go back to the Old Testament one more time. Because Ezekiel, he was a great prophet. And I'm going to go to 20. I'm going to go to chapter 20. And it'll be, verse 20? Chapter 20, verse 20. And he says right here, and hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between you and me, that you may know I am Yahweh, your Elohim. So the Sabbath is a sign. It's a sign that we are his people, his true people. That was true back then in the Old Testament times, and then the New Testament times, just like it is today. Nothing's changed. I think it's Malachi where, Yahweh doesn't change. He's in Hebrews, he's the same yesterday, today, tomorrow. He don't change. But I just wanted to bring up the Sabbath. I want to honor it this way. And hopefully it opens some of your eyes, even if it's just one person, I felt I did my duty. And that's all I want to say about that. And I thank you again for watching me. Please comment below. Watch my other videos. Subscribe and give me a big likes and hit that notification bell. I'll be back again for some more content. Until we meet again, thank you. Shalom and peace out.